You won't be able to look away from this gripping criminal interrogation, where the truth slowly unravels in every glance, every breath of the killer. Lee Rodarte appeared to be an ordinary man, but under the cold light of the interrogation room, his mask starts to fall apart. Young Savannah Gold vanished without a trace, but the cameras never lie. Hit subscribe now to catch more raw, intense true crime cases and unlock exclusive perks for our loyal followers.
Like I said, I want to kind of go over some stuff. I know we talked the other day just for a few minutes and I had some concerns about a couple things. And, oh, okay. Well, there we go. Somebody else wants to talk. There we go. I wanted to talk to you about Savannah. So I just had a couple of things that came up that I wanted to ask you about specifically that didn't seem to line up. So I wanted to come down and talk to you. Okay?
Yeah.
All right? Let's get just a couple, just make sure I've got your basic information. It's Lee. And tell me how you pronounce your last name.
Rodarte.
Rodarte. Okay. And that's Rodarte.
Yeah.
Right. And it's 1081 Halifax Road, Jacksonville. What's the zip there?
32216.
32216. Okay. Date of birth is 8/11 of 88.
Yep.
And 5'11.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's your approximate weight?
It's been a while since I weighed myself, but probably about 163, something like that.
163. Okay. And what color eyes do you have?
Brown.
Brown. Hair is
Brown.
Brown. And what's your phone number?
904
Okay.
452
452. Yes, sir.
6094.
6094. Okay. And your social? Do you know your social? Sure. And white male. How old are you?
28.
28. And can you read and write?
Yes.
What's the last school you went to?
Forest High School.
Oh, yeah.
Before it was renamed.
Yeah, yeah. When did you graduate from there?
06.
Okay. 2006. All right. And you can read and write. Have you had, have you drank any alcohol today? Any drugs today?
I took an Adderall that my buddy gave me.
Okay.
Because I was there so late last night. I
Yeah,
came
yeah.
in and was super tired. Like, here, take this.
Okay. Adderall?
Yeah.
And do you normally take that?
Nah, it was, I've taken one a long time ago, like,
Okay.
I wouldn't say high school, a little bit after high school, but it's been years.
Okay. Yeah. But nothing to drink alcohol-wise? Okay. And about what time do you think you took Adderall?
It was probably 12-ish.
Like noon?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you understand what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
Being able to communicate? Okay.
This case grabs you from the start. Lee Rodarte, an ordinary guy hiding a dark secret. The detective's calm questions mask the storm brewing. Savannah's disappearance isn't just a mystery. It's a wound for her family, especially her mom, battling cancer. You can feel the tension in Lee's voice already cracking under pressure. What's he hiding? Why does he hesitate? It's not just about facts. It's about a young woman's life, stolen too soon. As we dive deeper, you'll see how lies unravel and how one moment can spiral into tragedy.
Savannah, you said that you knew her and you guys had, you knew her from work. I mean, just kind of fill me in with that. How long have you known her?
Like I said, I've known her obviously since she started working there. I would say probably about 8 months ago or so, we started hanging out outside of work. And at the time I had a girlfriend. But we kind of connected, me and Savannah. So we hung out a little bit here and there. Got pretty close. We come from, I guess, somewhat similar backgrounds, I guess you should say.
Okay.
She didn't have it the best growing up, neither did I. So we kind of connected, hung out for a little while. I'd probably say a period of 2-3 months.
Okay.
And then she started using drugs a lot.
Okay.
Now, I used them with her, not the same drugs that she used all the time, but I did them with her a couple times, and then she started to get heavy into them. And
oh, gotcha. Okay.
so I kind of just tried to take a step back, and
The relationship between Lee and Savannah began like many others, with shared empathy for difficult pasts. But addiction and workplace secrets would soon ignite a fire no one could put out.
put things off. And after that, me and my ex started kind of chit-chatting again.
Okay.
You know,
And who's that? What's her name?
Her name's Chelsea.
Okay.
So we kind of started chit-chatting again. Never really 100% because obviously, you know, she was still kind of upset about me hanging out with Savannah and stuff like that. And then probably a month or so ago, I saw Savannah at work, and she looked healthy again. You know, she gained a little bit of weight, and just, you know, friendly talk at work. You know, telling her, you know, hope everything's been good. And she told me, you know, that I guess she did a lot of drugs and ended up in the hospital. She ended up missing like I want to say a couple of days, 3 or 4 days from work.
Oh, okay.
So obviously, you know, me being pretty close to her, I was concerned and everything. But after she came back, you know, she looked good, and she ended up telling me that I guess, you know, over those 4 days she detoxed pretty well, and she kind of caught a, you know, new sense into why she shouldn't do drugs so much.
Okay.
And like I said, she looked good. You know, she started looking healthy. So we kind of were talking, you know, here and there. We hung out a couple times. She came over to the house, and you know, we just kicked back, drink a couple beers, watch movies, stuff like that. And then as we hung out, you know, after a couple times, she brought drugs over. And I told her, I was like, you know, you're doing really good. You can't, you know, you shouldn't be doing it again. You're finally gaining weight. Because when we were together the first time, she was, you know, she got really petite and just didn't look well, which is kind of why I took a step back. Plus, my father used a lot of drugs growing up. My mother used a lot of drugs growing up. And it was just kind of a hard thing to see, you know, every time that we hung out. Like I said, we did, you know, we took like some pain pills here and there on occasion, but then she started like bringing heroin over and stuff like that. And that's, you know, my mom was addicted to methamphetamines when I was younger. So those hard, like.
Savannah had tried to fight her addiction, slowly rising after each fall. But temptation doesn't let go easily, and her return to drugs marked the moment fate came knocking, unannounced.
Hard drugs just kind of scare me a little bit. So that's why I took a step back the first time. And then I felt like she was better, you know, as we hung out recently. And she brought drugs over to my house the last time that we hung out. And we would text here and there. I would ask her how she's doing, you know, hope her day's going good. Just because I told her when she left the last time that we hung out, I was like, you know.
That parking lot scene chills me. Savannah, high and vulnerable, steps into Lee's car, thinking it's just a talk. But his anger, his fear of losing his job, it's a powder keg. You can hear the desperation in his voice trying to control the narrative. It's heartbreaking. Savannah's addiction made her an easy target, but she was still someone's daughter, someone's friend. Lee's not just lying to the detective, he's lying to himself, dodging the truth of what happened. Next, how does a conversation turn deadly? That's the question haunting this case.
Time you saw her?
This is what I was a bit. I didn't tell you the truth when we talked at Bonefish.
Okay.
Last time I saw her was Wednesday afternoon.
Okay.
I heard that she has been basically telling a lot of people at work that we hooked up a bunch, like a couple of days before that. And that she was going to like tell about the whole situation, and, you know, try to get me fired. And
why would that get you fired?
I'm a manager and she's an employee. So
okay, so you guys aren't supposed to fraternize?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
And she just told people, I guess, that she was out with that work at the restaurant that we were having sex.
Okay.
And, you know, hooking up and stuff like that, and that I was her boyfriend and this and that. So I was a little upset. Obviously, you know, I care about my job.
Sure. How long have you been there now?
It'll be 5 years in December.
Okay. Yeah, right.
So I was a little upset. So
Things escalated when Savannah was rumored to be spreading stories about their relationship, threatening Lee's career and reputation. The pressure began to build into something far more dangerous.
I met her in the parking lot at Bonefish.
When was this?
Wednesday afternoon.
Okay. Well, do you know what time or about?
It was about 5:30.
Okay.
When you say you met her, was she meeting you too, or?
I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't call her. I just drove up there to see if maybe she was working. I was gonna, talk to her, and
Did you
as
know
I was,
she was working that night?
I did.
You did not.
I did.
Oh, you did.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm sorry.
yeah.
Okay, you knew she was working that night.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I drove up there, and I was hoping to get a chance to talk to her.
Okay.
I pulled in the parking lot. She pulled in a little bit after me. I parked, and I said, "Hey, can I talk to you for a second?" And she said, "Yeah, what's up?" And I was like, "I heard you've been saying some things about me and you continuing to hang out, and that we're boyfriend and girlfriend." And she asked me, she said, "Can I come sit in the car? Because I just did some heroin and I'm a little paranoid."
Okay.
I said, "Why are you doing that? You're doing really well. You shouldn't have been doing that."
Okay.
And so she came and sat in the car, and I explained to her the situation. I told her that servers at Bonefish were coming to me and telling me that you're telling people when you're out that we're still having sex and we're boyfriend and girlfriend. And I said, I would appreciate, I need you to stop, because for one, it's jeopardizing my job. We agreed to, split, stop talking mutually and just move on, and, be cordial or whatever. But it was nothing more than that. And she said, "I'm going to do what I want. You can believe what you want. I didn't tell anybody anything." And I told her, I said, "The girl that you were out with told Chelsea that we were still having sex and that you were just at my house like yesterday and hanging out." And
The girl that she was out with when?
that Savannah was out with a couple nights prior.
Okay, gotcha.
I guess at one of the bars
Okay.
in Mandarin.
And who was that?
Bonefish. The girl that she
Yeah.
was with,
Yeah.
her name was Rachel.
Rachel. Okay. And Rachel told
Chelsea that Savannah was saying that, because me and Chelsea talk, we're very, friendly at work, we joke back and forth.
Okay.
And Savannah said, "Yeah, I did say that, I don't really like Chelsea, And I said, "Well, look, you need to stop. Because for one, like I said, we agreed to go our separate ways. And it's jeopardizing my job, and it's making me really upset having to come into work."
Lee wasn't just facing gossip. He feared losing control, feared his secrets coming to light. That evening's meeting in the parking lot wasn't just to clear the air. It was the beginning of the end.
Or talk to Chelsea, and she just constantly, badger me about stuff that you're saying that isn't true.
Yeah.
And I told her that she needs to stop. At that point,
Okay.
and I said, "No, stop. Like, I'm serious. I don't want to talk to you. It's not good for us, so let's stop." And she just said, "Why'd you do that?" I said, "Well, I'm upset, And she said, "Fuck you, you're a piece of shit." And I said, she said she's going to keep talking, telling lies and stuff about me and everything like that. And I said, and at that point, she had her phone in her hand. She got out of the car and walked towards the main entrance from San Jose.
So, like, if
So this is
like I know Bonefish is like over here. This is San Jose. This is the bank. It's over here in this area. Where were you guys parked?
She was parked here.
Okay.
To the left of the 5-Star ATM.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was parked here.
Okay. All right. So you're like here.
Yeah, I was probably 3 spaces away.
Okay, from her car.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So
And what do you drive?
I drive a Chevy Malibu.
Okay. What color is it?
Silver.
Silver Chevy Malibu.
Yeah.
Does it have Colorado tags, Florida tags, Georgia tags? Okay. And when you got there, did you pull into the parking place? Did you park sideways? Did you park backward?
I backed in.
Okay, you're backed in.
Yeah.
You backed into this parking place over by the bank area, by the ViStar ATM.
Yeah.
And you're driving a silver Chevy Malibu with a Florida tag. Okay, and then she pulls in over on this side of you?
Yeah.
Okay, so like if you're in the car and you're sitting here, she would be on your left.
So
You're the driver's
if
side.
I'm sitting facing forward, yeah, she was on the driver's side.
Does she back in? Does she pull in?
She pulled in.
Okay, all right. So when she gets out, she's close enough to you, and that's when you...
Savannah arrived in her work uniform, admitting she'd just used heroin. The two slipped into the back seat, hidden from view, and that hidden space...
She got out, and it looked like she was either texting or calling somebody.
Okay.
Because as she started walking towards there's an entrance to the plaza.
Okay. Yeah, it's closer towards 295?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't say she was walking along the edge of the plaza, but she was walking maybe towards this way. And I would say an older model Ford pickup, green.
Okay.
Drove past me and around, and she got in.
Okay. So, while you guys are in the car together, you guys are talking back and forth. She's not is she calling somebody while you guys are talking back and forth on the phone?
She didn't call anybody, no.
Okay.
She had her phone in her hand.
Yeah.
But I don't think she texted anybody.
Okay. So she gets out of the car with you, and starts walking in this direction.
I was in the car.
You're in the car, but she got out.
Yeah.
And now you're in the front seat.
Yes.
So she gets out of the back seat and begins walking in the direction of, not necessarily paralleling San Jose, but she's walking towards 295 or down towards that entrance area.
Yeah.
And then she's got her phone, and you said you thought she was calling somebody?
She had it in her hand and looked like, I couldn't tell if she was texting or not or anything.
But she had her phone out.
Yeah, she had her phone out and was looking at it, and then it looked like she was going to put it up to her ear, and then the green truck came around.
Okay.
And
how long do you think it was between the time that she got out and started using her phone till that green truck pulled up?
Maybe 5 minutes.
Okay. So wow. So if she called somebody, they got there in 5 minutes to pick her up?
Well, like I said, it looked like she was going to call somebody, and that's when the green truck came around, and she got in.
Okay. So she gets in the truck. What happened at that point?
They drove back around, kind of looped around a little bit.
Which way did they drive?
So she would say like here. The green truck was here, and then kind of just loops around. And I guess they exited that way, and at that point, I left.
They exited going which way? Down Santa?
Towards Claire Lane. I guess to leave the.
So they come out on the back side of this bank, like this way?
Yeah.
Towards Claire and San Jose?
Yeah.
And then you pull out. Which way do you go?
I go around and then go out the same way.
Same way?
Yeah.
Okay. And where do you go from there?
A green pickup appeared like a phantom. Savannah got in without hesitation. Lee claimed it was a stranger, but no one else could confirm the driver existed, except him.
From there, I go home.
You just go straight home from
So
there?
tell me your route on the way home that you went.
295 all the way to Beach Boulevard to Grove Park, and then Grove Park.
How long does that usually take you? Depending on traffic, obviously.
I think it usually takes me about 25 minutes or so.
Okay. What happened to your neck?
That was self-inflicted, actually.
Why?
I just have been having kind of a hard time.
To your neck?
I couldn't. Yeah, I did. And
What did you use?
a knife.
When did you do that?
Some time in July.
You did that in July and it's still...
Yeah.
Bloody?
Well, I kind of peel the scab here and there at work, hitting it on stuff like that. I peeled it last night working, and it was coming off a little bit today, so I peeled that a little bit.
All right, let me see.
But this and this was the same night. This one was just a lot worse.
Yeah.
Than this one was.
Okay. And that was in July?
Yeah.
Okay. Like a few weeks back?
Yeah.
Okay. So who could you see who the person in the truck was?
The truck had fairly tinted windows. I saw a baseball cap.
Yeah. Okay. You see a guy, girl, white, black?
I couldn't really tell if it was a guy or a girl.
Okay.
I just remember seeing the truck drive and her get in.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm sitting in front and the truck drives right past me.
Yeah.
And I saw a baseball cap through the passenger window.
Okay.
But
so did it seem like she knew the person?
I mean, she got right in.
Had you ever seen the truck before?
No.
Never. Have you seen it since then?
No.
Did she say? Well, did she say anything to you when she got out of the car, other than
She was just like, "Fuck you, I'm gonna do what I want." And
she doesn't say anything other than that. Okay.
Lee, why didn't you mention this before? Since we've been looking for this girl, I mean, don't you think that information?
I mean,
is important?
it definitely does. And I regret obviously not saying anything before. I mean, I talked to.
Hours passed, but Savannah never returned. Lee insisted she left peacefully, yet her car remained in the lot, her purse untouched. No one walks away without their phone, wallet, and a trace.
Chelsea, and she said, you need to tell them what you know and everything.
When did you talk to Chelsea? You talked to Chelsea about this?
Yes.
Okay. When did you talk to her?
The day that it happened.
Okay.
Because I mean, her whole issue with me was me hanging out with Savannah.
Sure.
Prior.
Yeah. And if Savannah's out of the picture, then you guys can be free to have your relationship, be back together.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, Lee. Then tell us now if you're being an honest man. Are you being honest?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's start being honest. She never got out of your back seat. She never got out of your back seat. Video cameras don't lie.
Lee.
How do you know? How do you think I know this information, Lee? I wasn't there, but a video camera caught it.
Tell me what happened.
I don't know.
What happened to her? Was it an overdose? Is that what happened? I don't know. I'm not in the car with you guys. You just said she was in your car and she had admittedly had done heroin. Bodies overdose all the time. Is that what happens? Does she overdose?
Surveillance cameras became the silent witness. Footage showed Savannah never left Lee's car, and the green truck he claimed had picked her up, it never existed.
Okay, well, tell us when you left with her in the car, because that is what is shown. We can't make up that. We can't falsify a video camera, Lee. I'm not lying to you, because you know I'm telling the truth, because you know that's what's on the video. How else would I know that? I don't, unless I have the video. Where did you go with her?
I didn't go anywhere with her.
You did.
No.
You did. So the video camera's lying?
I don't know this. I mean.
Well, I'm telling you. I'm telling you, I'm not lying to you. I'm not making that up. That's why I'm so passionate about this. This is someone's child. You might not have kids, but damn it, she's someone's kid. It's not fair to her mom with stage 4 cancer. All she wants to know is where her daughter is. But I have this man sitting over here, a 28-year-old man, that first says, you haven't seen her. You didn't see her that day. To now the roles have reversed a little bit because we've been doing our background. Okay? And now you're saying that she was sitting in your car, which all lines up with the video, actually. I'm glad that you said you got in the back seat with her. All that lines up. But you know what doesn't line up? After that passenger door comes open and shuts, comes open and shuts, she never gets out of that car. And you drive off. She never gets out of that car. There is no green truck. And that's not right to her. We're fact finders, Lee. I don't have anything personal against you.
No, not at all. I mean, it's
We're just
over.
fact finders.
Tell us
We're
what
just
happened.
doing
Where
our
is she?
job. No. Where did you go with her? Where did you go with her, Lee? Be human. You're a human. You're a man. Where did you go with her? I know you're not that cruel inside. Seriously. Where did you go with her?
Maybe you don't know where she is now. Where did you go with her?
Please. I'm begging you, Lee. Please. Please tell us. Please don't make us waste any more of our time. Just tell us. Please tell us. Please. I'm begging you. I know you're not evil. Just tell us where she is. I'm begging you. Please. Please. Can you please just tell me? You do know. Is that how you wanted people to think?
No charges were placed yet, just one request. Tell us where you last went with her. But Lee said nothing, as if his conscience had locked itself in a prison deeper than the one awaiting him.
I know you're not an evil person. I don't see that in you. I don't see that in your history. I don't hear those things about you at work. Please tell us where you went with her. She never got out of your car. Please tell us, Lee, please. I'm begging you. For her family. Please. Please. She didn't get out of your car. And you know that, obviously. Please. Please, Lee. I'm begging you. As a human.
I don't know.
You too.
Look,
know.
please,
You know, Lee, just please don't make us do this any longer.
Yeah. For her family. Just tell us where.
Can you just tell us?
Where did you go?
Where did you go with her then? Can you
at least tell us that?
At least tell us that part. Where did you go with her afterwards? She didn't get out of your car, and you know that obviously because I know
we
that.
do. That's why we're here. Just tell us where. Where did you go with her? Tell us that. At least point us in that direction. I owe her family. We've been. No one's. We're not saying anything that you intentionally did anything. Just tell us where you went. Please.
Lee, it's not.
You're doing great. I mean, you already told us everything we already know.
It's not right, Lee. This isn't right for her family or for anybody. No one should have to go through this.
The detective's pleas hit like a punch. It's not just a cop, he's a father, imagining his own daughter in Savannah's place. That raw emotion, begging Lee to tell the truth, it's what makes this case so human.
Alice.
Silence screams. Guilt. The surveillance footage doesn't lie. Savannah never left that car. It's infuriating to watch him dodge, knowing a family's desperate for closure. This isn't just about justice. It's about decency. How could someone stay silent? When a mother's dying, needing answers, it's a betrayal of humanity itself.
When y'all left out of there, you went down Clare Lane, you made a left on San Jose, about to 295, and you get up on 295. Okay. Where else did you go before you went home? I mean, I know you eventually went home, but...
I didn't go anywhere. I went straight home.
Okay, so what did y'all do when you got home? Savannah was with you. She was with you.
In a moment of desperation, the detective reminded Lee, "You won't be remembered for the mistake, but for how you faced it." Still, Lee turned away from the truth and from his own humanity.
And that's okay at that point, but I need to know where did she go from there? Is she still at your house?
No.
Okay. Is she still in your car?
No.
Okay. Well, then where is she?
I don't know where she is.
Okay, then where did you last drop her off at?
I didn't drop her off.
Okay, well then tell me.
What happened? Where'd you guys go?
We went to my house.
Okay.
We did some jokes.
Okay.
Hung out for a little. And then she said she was going to catch him and go home.
Okay. And did she call an Uber?
She pulled her phone out. Looked like she was using it. I wasn't hovering over her. I was pretty high. So, I mean, I wasn't. She told me she was leaving. She walked out the door.
What was going on in the
Didn't
back
do
seat?
anything.
What was going on in the back seat? For the doors to be kicked open. She kicked open that door 3 times, Lee. She kicked it. We saw it. And you know I'm not making it up because I wouldn't know this. Because I wasn't there. I would never know this unless we had video of it, correct? Yes, correct. I'm not trying to trick you. I'm just a fact finder.
I'm not going to lie to you.
That door kicked open 3 times. Obviously something went on in that back seat. Tell me about that. What happened in the back seat? Did she get mad at you?
I mean, we've gotten arguments plenty of times where she says she doesn't care what happens or anything like that.
But let's be honest. No one's going to go with some man willingly after all that. No one's going to do it. Please tell me where Savannah is.
No.
You do know. You do know, Lee. And right now, it's the time. You're so close, and I know you're going to tell me. I know you are because I just know you are. Because I know you want to do the right thing, but you're scared to do the right thing. I get it.
Yeah.
I do. I'm not.
Can you just tell me what I'm being charged with, please?
Yes.
Yeah. I want to find
I don't know yet, but at least I do know that you have the KPS out for your arrest for the DWLS.
We found that.
For the what?
The DWLS, I think, yeah.
No.
By the end, the pleas were no longer about justice, but about finding a trace of human decency. But Lee chose silence, letting pain and heartbreak fester in the absence of a simple truth.
But where's Savannah?
So what am I being charged with now? Driving while suspended license?
I don't know yet. I gotta talk to the attorney that's sitting out there watching this interview. Where's Savannah?
I don't know.
You do know. So you're gonna make me and our team and this whole entire sheriff's office and every person in the community to get out there after, after they know the truth of who she left with and sees the struggle in the backseat of your car. And you're going to make all of us go and search Jacksonville for her when you could just easily tell me where she is? Is that what we're going to put everybody through?
Think about this. All right. Sometimes people do wrong things, right? Some people make mistakes. It's what you do afterwards. I got a family that needs closure. They are now coming to the reality that she's no longer with us. I need closure for them. When stuff gets out that you guys left and all that together and all that kind of stuff, you want people to remember you as a guy who said, okay, look, I'm going to do the right thing. Or do you want your family and everybody else to think that you're some evil, heartless person who won't tell us where she is? Why would you put your family and her family through all that? I don't think you're that kind of guy. I don't think you're evil. Something got out of hand. I get it. But what do you do after that? Here's what you do. You do the right thing now. Just tell us where she is. Closure for her family.
Lee, we understand. Listen, we understand.
We're not trying to hang you up on anything, man. I'm telling you, I'm thinking about this girl and her family. And your family.
She was... Sorry.
Please tell me where to go find her. That's how people remember you. We can work with that.
What?
You got to do the right thing now. You can do this. You can do the right thing.
Lee Rodarte ultimately bowed before justice. He was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to 40 years in prison under a plea deal, meaning he won't walk free until he's 71. But his real punishment isn't just time behind bars. It's the disgust in society's eyes.
Lee's conviction 40 years feels like justice, but it's not closure. Savannah's family lives with a void no sentence can fill. Her mom, fighting cancer, deserved to know her daughter's fate sooner. Lee's lies didn't just hide a crime, they stole precious time from a grieving family. This case reminds us how fragile life is, how one moment of rage can destroy everything. It's not just a story, it's a warning. We need to hold ourselves accountable, to face our mistakes, not bury them. Savannah's memory demands that.